Hi there, welcome back. Thanks for dropping by. This is PM Ninja video series, and I'm Maneesh Vijay from PM Pulse. And I'm also the author of this particular book, which is found only on Amazon as of now. And this book is probably the most comprehensive, most interesting, and absolutely illustration based books. There are tons of illustrations in color in this book. But more about this book later, because this particular video is dedicated to one important topic that everybody asks me. I consult a lot of companies. I talk to program directors. I talk to VPs. I talk to leadership or layers within organizations, almost in every domain, and they have a very important question for me. Almost every time it shows up in some form or the other, and that question is: Are certified project managers better than just experienced project managers? Are certified project managers with, say, 10 years of experience better than project managers with just 10 years of experience without any certification? Is there a value addition because of certification? Well, in order to know the complete answer and the reason why, and I'll give you a spoiler alert, it's going to shock you quite a bit. So keep watching. As I said, people do ask, and I think you should be asking this question yourself. Hey, is there anything like a value addition for me when I become certified? It takes a certain amount of effort. You also invest a lot of money. So is there any benefit for the organization, for project management as a discipline, and for you in terms of career? Is there any improvement? Well, the answer is, for the moment, no. It does not. Now, so am I saying that, Maneesh, you're the worst person who's also providing a lot of PMP trainings? You're also providing ACP trainings. You're also providing RMP trainings, right? You're also, providing BA-related, business analysis-related based trainings. You're providing program management training. You're providing portfolio management training. What are you saying, right? Are you saying that, hey, you should not come and, join my courses, right? Well, that's not true. In fact, I am a big follower of certification. How else would organizations really come to know that you mean something, that you're really good in what you say you are? See, why was certification invented? The whole idea is that, let's say I get a project manager, a person who's applied to my organization for the position of a project manager. And when I interview that person, and when I ask, the discussion is going to last for maybe half an hour, maybe 1 hour. And even if I go for 4 or 5 rounds of interviews, point is, at any point of time, it's just, 1 hour, 40 minutes, 30 minutes. That's it. You can't really understand if the person really knows things well. Maybe that person just knew theoretical answers to the questions that you were asking for, and you get a job. So interviews, they are successful only to a certain extent. Now, unlike technical people, where we can actually, get them to code, get them to do something, solve a problem, you really can't do that with project managers, because that will require almost like spending a lot of time, maybe weeks or months, to select somebody. And therefore, that does not look tenable. And therefore, you're left with no other option but to interview. And you have your doubts about interview. And therefore, certification started. Once a person is certified, hey, this guy knows what he's talking about. He's gone through that certification. So there was a time when we went for certification, people before me went to the certification, and a few years after me, when people went for certification, it made a huge difference between a person who was not certified. Even if the person was twice more experienced than we were, we provided the kind of value which hardly anybody else could provide. There was a huge difference. Today, in fact, from the last 7 to 8 years, or nearly a decade, you really can't make that difference, and it's getting worse. In fact, I am actually appointed, or I'm hired as a interviewer for a lot of organizations, manufacturing, IT, telecom, and many of them hire me to basically hire the best of the project managers from among the candidates who have applied in that organization. And that makes sense because I understand their organization because I've been consulting them for some time. I will keep the technology part out and I will focus on pure project management skills. And therefore, they hire me to hire to select project managers. And you'll be surprised in the last 10 years, if I look at the number of number of project managers or project professionals that I've hired for organizations, the larger percentage, unfortunately, is among those who are not certified. No, not that I was actually looking for, hey, this is certified, maybe I'm not going to pick up. Nothing like that. I would just give equal weightage to all of them. And I was shocked because the moment I gave a little complex questions, real world questions, which as a PMP certified person or an ACP certified person or as a business analyst certified or as a program manager certified, you should know better than anybody else who's just, experienced but not certified. But they don't. And I was getting upset over a period of time and I didn't know why this is happening. And then I began to see the pattern. The problem does not lie with people. It lies it lies with the candidates to a certain extent, but it lies more with people like us. Not me, but people like us. Trainers, ATPs. The PMI has got a very good intention. They actually select good ATPs, but in order to sell the whole dynamics of this entire certification business, I should call it certification business now, because it's just that. It's become quite perturbingly money minded. We just want to show that how many people got certified because of my trainings. That's it. So you'll find interviews from so many people, literally flying with on the seats, the pants, right? Simply saying, okay, interview with so and so person, he passed or she passed. And in that interview, they'll say, hey, the exact questions came as you taught, the exact this came as you taught. And that's what is the problem, because you look at ATPs, you look at all the trainers, you look at all the books, then nobody is really interested in teaching candidates about what project management is, what is the logic of the structure, why should we be using certain tools at a specific point of time, what is the practical benefit, how can you really apply it in the real world, what are the examples of real world projects where certain things like scheduling or any specific thing was applied and it actually resulted into better benefit, what are the aspects of scheduling you should not apply. That comes from practice, that comes from understanding. Nobody tells you that. And therefore, what happens, you become, or the candidates, they just go through the content, the notes, which are very PMP like. They do about 1,000 questions, which are very similar to PMP. And they kind of literally mug up all the ethos, all the tools and techniques, and simply regurgitate when it shows up in the PMP exam. And once they clear, they are so happy with themselves that they cleared. They forget everything else. And anyway, whatever they learned was something that they would benefit from remembering anyway, because it was purely theoretical, just for somehow clearing PMP exam. That's where the problem is. Now, when you go for the interview, you may influence people through your certification, through some of the new words that you're speaking, but when you work on the actual project, well, that's where we come to know who you are, who really you are. That's where most of the certified PMP guys are not even a bit better than the non-certified counterparts. The good thing about non-certified counterparts compared to certified ones today is that they are ready to learn. But certified people also carry an arrogance that I'm PMP certified. At the drop of a hat, they'll simply say, hey, I'm PMP certified. You should listen to me. Doesn't matter. If you can't deliver, it doesn't matter. And that's the reason why I write books like these. This is a PMP book. You can ace PMP using this, but that's not the primary purpose of this book. There are tons of people. This book has been adopted in 3 universities in Europe. They loved certain aspects of it. So one of them have actually completely taken the risk management. They took my permission, I just give it for free. When it comes to students, university, I even give free lectures to several universities. That's okay. So I said, go ahead. They took my permission. People use stakeholder management. Some of the institutes are using my schedule management. So basically, they loved it. Because they're not certified. Many of the people I know, they are reading this book only to understand project management better. That's it. It's really surprising that when I go to, let's say, large scale manufacturing organizations, and they want me to teach a group of program managers, project managers, program management or project management, the first thing the AVP or the VP would ask me, Maneesh, I know you are a trainer for certification, but please do not focus on PMP. We want practical project management with case studies and everything. And I find it very difficult to explain to them that, hey, PMP is also like that, because their experience has been otherwise. They hired, trainers for PMP. What they got was just theory, no practicality. So you have a group of people who have certified in project management, but they can't deliver zilch. They're not, they're none the wiser. They're not better. So that is what I'm trying to say. Today, the situation is so bad that you really, really can't find that certified project managers are better than non-certified. Now, I've only talked about the problem with people like us, trainers, right? But what about you guys? What about candidates? Well, there's a problem there as well. Candidates are looking at PMP or any certification as a panacea for all their career goals. They say, hey, or sometimes they're very short-sighted. So and so got promoted in my company because that person has so many years of experience, but he is PMP certified. And they just assume that the reason you did not, or I did not get a promotion was because I'm not PMP certified. And with this sighted mindset, they go for PMP and they want to do the PMP as an obstacle. Hey, that's the only obstacle in my career. And they're only looking forward to the next promotion. What they're missing here is it's a great opportunity to not only go for the next promotion, but for a quantum jump if you understood project management better, if you really understood it practically. If project management is your choice of career, why would you want to learn it in a manner that was only meant for somehow academically clearing the PMP certification and not applying it in the real world? What is that investment really worth? So a part of the problem lies with you. You simply look at trainers or those people who claim that they have this and look at their books, look at their content, look at their content on Udemy. It's only about somehow clearing the PMP exam. I mean, I have a course on Udemy for a different purpose, and because I want to use that as a promotion site, because everybody comes there because everybody is money conscious. But even in that, and that particular course is actually called PMP Dash, and it is supposed to be absolutely exam focused. But what people tell me is that even that absolutely exam focused content that I have gives so much of practical information and so much of reasoning and so much of examples, which full 35 contact hours provided by some of these famous guys on Udemy do not provide. They simply say, this is written and this is what it is. Some of them simply read out in good English accent. That's it. People are loving that. And whose fault do you think that is? See, some of these trainers are providing what you're appreciating. You don't even know how you guys are digging your own career graves. See, in engineering, I saw something very interesting. There were people who were actually trying to understand the concepts about cantilever, about so many other concepts. They were literally understanding the physics and the various aspects, the load balancing and everything, right? They were experimenting with new designs for infrastructure and everything. But For some reason, there were a lot of other kids who were only interested in somehow clearing and topping or getting good marks or clearing engineering. And for that, they got those Guptas and Goyal's small books, right, which the prominent questions which are probably going to show up now in this current examination. They'll just go through that, study only from that point, and give the exam. Sometimes they used to get good marks, but they will definitely clear. And then this person is hired, in one of the engineering or civil engineering construction companies, and this guy has no clue how to calculate the width of the the column which is going to support this much of weight, right, at so and so place. And therefore that guy actually starts getting information from the foreman, who's not even educated but knows more than this qualified engineer. You see the difference? And that's exactly what happens with PMP or any certified project managers. Guys, forget about what people are saying about somehow clearing. There is too much of focus on somehow clearing the PMP exams. It's really bad for your career. You really need to understand it. Who says that if you understand it, you can't clear it? In fact, if you understand things better, you'll clear it easily without any anxiety or tensions, because you don't have to mug up things. If you understand it, no matter how complex or how many different varieties of questions show up in the PMP exams, you'll be able to ace them anyway. And that's what many of my students actually talk about. So here is what I'm saying is, guys, focus on the logic, focus on project management. PMP certification or ACB certification or PGMP certification is a side effect. It happens automatically. You'll get it done the very first time. Focus on the correct thing, right? So today, unfortunately, the way we are studying, the way we are clearing the exams, the way the trainers are writing books, the way they are creating content, I'm sorry to say, project managers, certified ones, are none the wiser. Sorry for that. I know it might hurt somebody's feelings or things like that, but trust me, it is for your benefit. Some of the best medicines are kind of bitter. They're not sugar-coated, but they are for your own good. Guys, take care. Understand and assimilate this information. Strike out in your first step in your career, that is certification, in the correct manner, not the most popular manner, right? And we've got so many evidences that the most popular things are not necessarily the best things. They're just popular, right? So be very careful about it. Anyway, enough said. This is Maneesh Vijay from PM Pulse, and you were listening to another power-packed episode from PM Ninja video series. Best wishes for your PMP exams, and I'll catch you later.